going to perform my air brake test. Make sure my front wheel is shut, front door is closed, my bus is in neutral, parking brake is on, seat belt is on. Okay, after that, if the engine is running like right now, I have to look at the air gauge pressure needle. If the needle is moving, I'm going to perform car out test. If the needle is not moving, I'm going to perform car-in test. I say I have to look at the needle. Now it's time to look at the needle. Needle is not moving, so that means I have to perform car-in test. For this test, I have to apply and release the service brake and wait a couple of seconds to see if the needle is moving. If the needle is moving, this is my car-in point. Must take place at no lower than 85 psi. So after I explain it, I want to perform it. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 1007, 1008, 1009, 1010. It's not moving, so I have to repeat the same process. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004. Now it's moving at 100 psi. This is my car-in point. This is a good test because no lower than 85 psi. Next test is my car out test. For this test, the needle is moving. I have to let it go all the way until the needle stops. That will be my car out point. Must take place at no higher than 140 psi. So the only thing I have to do is wait for the needle to stop. I can apply my fast idle to get faster. Needle is moving. Just wait till the needle stops. Okay, I think the needle is stopped. The first thing I have to do is release the fast idle. My needle stops at 124 psi. This is a good test because no higher than 140 psi. This is a good test. Next test, static test. For the static test, the first thing I have to do is turn it off the engine. Then open the switch, master switch on position. Right there, 2 clicks to the right side. Okay, next thing I have to release my parking brake. This is the parking brake. I have to release it. After release. Then all air users devices such as front door. Release position. Okay. Now I have to look at the needle. During 1 full minute, I must not drop more than 2 psi. So my needle is in 114 psi and my minute start now. Okay, my minutes pass up. I did not lose any PSI. That's a good test. My reading is still at 114 PSI. That's a good test. Okay, next test. The next test is apply pressure. For this test, I have to apply the service brake and hold it for 1 full minute. And my air gauge must not drop more than 3 PSI. So first thing, apply the service brake. My reading is at 105 psi and my minutes start now. Okay, my minute pass up. My reading is still at 105 psi. I did not lose any psi. This is a good test. Until you finish your test, you release the service brake. Okay, next test. The next test is low air warning light and buzzer test. For this test, I have to start the engine. I already got to click on the right side of my master switch. Just press the starting button. Okay, if you start the engine, you have to release the pressure using my service brake until the light and buzzer comes on. It must take place in between 55 to 75 or no lower than 55. After I explain it, I'm performing. There you go. 75. My light and warning comes on 75 psi. This is a good test because it's in a range 55 to 75. This is a good test. Okay, the next test is emergency spring brake test. For this test, I have to do the same thing, using the service brake to reduce the pressure until my emergency spring brake engages by itself. It must take place in between 20 to 45 psi. I'm going to put my two fingers on top to feel when it engages. After I explain it, I'm going to perform it. There you go. Engages at 55 psi. According to the manufacturer specifications, this is a good test. Okay, the next test. The next test is parking brake test. For the parking brake test, I have to get 100 psi minimum or more. Okay, so I'm going to apply the fast idle to get the pressure and go outside to remove my wheel chuck. 3 point of contact. Want to go back to move the steering wheel. 3 point of contact. Okay, I get the two chucks. I put it right here. 3 point of contact. Getting the bus. 3 point of contact. Getting the bus. With my seatbelt on. Now this is the time to close the door in normal position over here. Normal position switch to close the door. Okay. After that we check the pressure. We have a 115. That's good pressure. Release the fast idle. Okay. Now for my parking brake test, my parking brake is engaged. Put the bus in gear. It's in gear. Release my service brake. Lightly accelerate. Bus not moving. This is a good test. Next test, interlock brake test. For this test, number one, I have to put the bus in gear. It's in gear. Bus is in gear. Number two, open the rear door to see my interlock brake. This is the green light. Interlock brake is on. Number three, release the parking brake. Okay. Number four, release my service brake. Lightly accelerate. Bus not moving because my interlock brake is working properly. This is a good test. Okay. Now, for safety reasons, I want to go back. 3, apply the parking brake. 2, release the interlock brake. And 4, bus in neutral. Okay, this is a good test. Now, last test. For the last test, this is my service brake test. For this test, I have to move the bus 3 to 5 miles per hour and apply the service brake. When I apply the service brake, my bus should not move to the left side or to the right side. Brakes properly and evenly on both sides. Okay? After I explain it, I'm going to perform it. Okay? First, put the bus in gear. Okay? Second, put my hands under the steering wheel to feel if the bus moves to the left or to the right. Okay? Before I move the bus, I check the left mirror and the right mirror for safety reasons. The last thing I have to do is remove my parking brake. Put the hands again under the steering wheel and perform it. Okay? My bus didn't move to the left side or to the right side. Brakes properly and evenly on both sides. That's a good test. After I perform it, I put my bus in neutral, apply my parking brake, do like that. That's conclude my air brake test. Boom.